All you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
Yeah,
real
well,
mode.
we can hold the peace so we can wage war. But I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a crew name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest, and I'm tired of niggas. They front they blessings, they want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with king, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empires fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
"15 seconds. We can do it. Hold your breath."
I'm hungry because my blood sugar is going up.
This is like a Jabba the Hutt vibe I'm getting here.
Stop! Stop! You can see the finger marks on my arm.
Go fuck yourself.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight! yourself.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Ooh. Welcome everyone to episode 20 hundo and 95 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 flexing on all you
fucking Catalina wine.
It's
the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
Papa Swolio, I am still cold, Josh. I am still cold. Actually, I'm starting to kind of sweat a little bit, so I'll probably shed this in just a few moments. But it is the Red, White, and Swole Sunday, fun day, Q and anus. So we are going to take a lot of questions today, and we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. Make sure you are checking out everything in the show notes down below in order to join Swolenormous X. Check out the SwoleFam, because tomorrow we have our accountability meeting at 12 noon Eastern time. 12 noon Eastern time. Monday, tomorrow, the 31st, we are out of January. So at 12 noon Eastern time, we will have our famous accountability meeting, our live call inside Swolenormous X. Make sure you are checking on your homepage when you log in, and then you can find all the links to join for the live call. It's going to be awesome. We have some brand new SwoleFam posts, of course. We have some awesome new releases, and of course, we'll take any questions and we'll take live calls for those of you that are ready to hold yourself accountable. I am already starting to sweat. Let's take it off. Ooh, all right. Ooh, now it's cold. I'm hot, then I'm cold, then I'm hot, then I'm cold. All right, America, baby, let's get a little bit of fun. All right, the Red, White, and Swole Sunday Fun Day Q&A is about to commence. Make sure you drop your questions starting now. We'll summon the Falcon, and then you can take your questions. So use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio to get your question featured. And of course, it is the Red, White, and Swole Sunday Fun Day Q&A. So get ready for this card. Let's summon the Falcon, and let's get this fucking party started. Drum roll, please. Thank you. Falcon, a slow little summon for the Falcon. Very gentle today. Put some respect on it, you boosh.
Sunday, greatest country in the world.
All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. Leo's still drinking like a raging alky. Come on, Leo, put it down. Put down that sparkling bone broth. If any of you have one of those like club soda things, you can put bubbles in it. Try it with bone broth. See if it's nice. Oh my God, can you imagine? Hashtag Red, White, and Swole for a chance to win today's Swole card, and we will give that away at the end of today's episode. You could just drop some hashtag RWS. That is totally fine. Let's get into today's episode. Drop that hashtag down below. Reminder that only in 5 days, this Friday, we have our signature series, Papa Swolio's signature series P3S2, drops on February 4th for 24 hours only. 24 hours only, so make sure you are ready this Friday, February the 4th, at, 24 hours. From midnight to midnight, we are dropping the second edition of our collector's series, and we'll be talking about that all week. So mark your calendars. 2422 P3S2 will drop. It's going to be awesome. going to be fire. And of course, we have our accountability meeting tomorrow. We'll talk more about it. That being said, let's get into some questions. If you got questions live, hashtag APS, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And we will take some questions. Let's get into it. What we got, fam?
What's in the box?
Sunday. What's up, Shelly? How we doing, Doug? Ethan, Danny, Jessica. Hello, Jay. From Jacinda.friend. Avatar, let's go, Brandon.
Come on, man.
Is working out in 15-minute spurts throughout the day effective? I don't always have a solid window of time. I think it depends on what you're doing in those 15 minutes. One of the only issues that I would see, one, it's not as effective, in my opinion, as doing, a set workout for 45 minutes or an hour. However, as long as you're warming up and you're cooling down properly. One of the problems is 15 minutes is like, what are you going to do? Jump on a bench? Just for an example, what are you going to do? Jump on a bench and just start benching heavy for 15 minutes? You need to warm up. So you'd want to do some mobility at least for a few minutes at the beginning of your workout. And I would just say, depending on what it is. And the only reason why I wouldn't necessarily do a very intense workout would just be how you would on-ramp that, how you would warm up for your intense training. So you don't want to just go on and do super heavy reps, out of nowhere. You need to warm up for at least a few minutes, at least 5 or 10 minutes. You should be giving some warm up. And I would also say it depends on when the next 15-minute session is, but you could definitely do 15 minutes of mobility. You could definitely do maybe 7 minutes of a warm up, like a Swollen 7 mobility and then a Swollen 7 kettlebell, for example. So certain types of protocols would be more effective, but if you're just trying to look for general fitness and you want to just get moving more throughout the day, there's nothing wrong with that. It's definitely effective, but it just depends on how you execute it and how many times you're going to be working out, what your situation is. If you're training at home, you might have a little bit more flexibility where you could have your stuff set up. But if you're at work, you understand you have a 15-minute break at work, you can definitely do some mobility, but doing heavy squats probably isn't in the picture, for example. So I think it depends on the context. And there's definitely ways to get short workouts, and that's why we have the Swollen 7. That's why we have Swolga for 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and we have the Express Yoga classes in Swolenormous X. So I think there's a lot of different options there. It depends on what you're doing, but mobility is perfect for 15 minutes. Definitely perfect for 15 minutes. If some of you do, if you do any of you watching live, if you do short workouts, you can drop in the comments below, but that's why we have the Swollen 7. So you have different options there. Let's see. Maxwell, Elijah, if my goal is stimulating muscle growth, what kind of rep ranges should I be shooting for? For example, chest and shoulder with dumbbells. Generally, I would go for anywhere between 6 and 15 reps. Anything really much lower on compound movements are more for strength, not so much hypertrophy, which they do cross over, but you can definitely build strength without maximizing your muscle size. But if you're trying to put on muscle, period, more hypertrophy, I would keep it more like 6 to 12 or so, depending on what the lift is and what volume you're doing overall. Okay. Glowing Artiste, Papa Swolio, what's the best precautions to take in workout? Or what's the best precaution to take with a new tattoo? Just got fresh ink this past Friday. I'm not going to answer that because I don't have any tattoos. So mine would just be speculation. I would just make sure, obviously, I don't know if you can sweat much, what you're allowed to do, but definitely you don't want to rub it, I would assume. It's fresh ink and fresh skin, but anyone else with tattoos can probably answer that a lot better. Since I don't have any, not really the best person to speak on that. I definitely don't have any personal experience, so. But I know there's a period where you want to make sure that you're not rubbing on it, especially if it's fresh ink. I'd be paranoid. Like, I don't want to touch it. Let's see. Jeremy, is it wise to work through a bruised muscle? I bruised my foot somehow. Hurts to walk, but I don't want to baby it too much. I think you're answering your own question. If it hurts to walk, what are you going to do? Leg day? So if it hurts to walk, no, it's not wise to work through it. There's definitely exercise that you can do. I'm going to answer this other part. So you definitely don't want to do what Marissa is saying, but I want to follow up on that. You definitely don't want to like push through it because you can make it worse. So it depends on, you bruised your foot. I don't know what that means. If it hurts to walk, then you definitely shouldn't be doing any pressure, but you can do yin yoga. You could probably do other types of exercise that don't put pressure on your foot. You could do glute work. You could do hip bridges maybe, depending on how you execute them. You could do different types of mobility and stretching and activation and upper body work, depending on what you have access to if you're training at home or at a gym. But there's other stuff you could definitely do, but you don't want to aggravate it. Marissa was saying, I'm also in pain. I don't know for sure what it is. I took 600 ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is so bad for you. Marissa. You definitely don't want to be sucking down ibuprofen. That's going to destroy your gut and your intestines. Definitely don't recommend personally. I mean, unless a doctor is prescribing it, even though I disagree with that in most cases, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to confront, say, oh, if your doctor tells you to. If your doctor tells you to, that's one thing. But I would strongly avoid taking things like ibuprofen. It's just really bad for your gut, and it's not going to help the actual issue. Just be careful with that. That's a lot of ibuprofen. But you can ice it, Jeremy. You can ice it, like put your foot in like an ice bath and then just move it around while it's iced up. I'm not a big fan of necessarily with like sprains and just locking it in place because you don't want the soft tissue to fuse and get like scar tissue build up. But you can mobilize it, but just put it in water, move it around. How'd you bruise your foot? You said bruise your foot somehow. Where in your foot? Your heel, or is it the arch of your foot? Is it, the ball of your foot? What's going on? Matthew was wondering, Papa Swolio, how do I increase the amount of calisthenics that I do? Like more push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, etc. Practice them more. Do negatives. Practice them regularly and consistently and build up over time. Usually more frequency is better for calisthenics. Like it's better to do a few pull-ups a day than do like 30 on one day. So it's good to get into the flow of doing that kind of body weight training more regularly, in my experience. So for doing things like sled work and doing things like pull-ups and push-ups, is good for doing, lower volume and building up over time, but doing them more frequently. So I don't know if you mean, depends on where you're at, just doing more negatives or things that are fantastic. So do, forced reps at the end, do negative isometric holds, do negatives for pull-ups. Those can definitely break through. So if you can only do 5 pull-ups, do 5 pull-ups and then do a set right after. Go into, stepping up on a chair or on a block and then doing negatives from the top down to overload your muscles when you're more fatigued. Get a couple more reps in there. It's a good way to overload the body when you can't do more reps, and just kind of backdoor it, how the body will adapt to that same type of stress in the strongest range of motion, eccentric. And then you can kind of get a couple more force reps at the end, and then you'll build up your work capacity overall, and it'll help you do more total pull-ups. That's one of the best ways to do it, is to do negatives. Let's see, Maxwell, I think I asked this already, but how heavy do you load your sled for reverse? And do you do one continuous time or multiple bursts for shorter time? I just do lengths. I do across the yard and back and then rest for a little bit. I'll put a few plates on there. It depends. I like to do it more regularly, but you just don't want to do it too much out of nowhere, because you could get like, if you go from 0 to all of a sudden doing sledding, pulling, or pushing, or reverse, or whatever you're doing, you can definitely get like Achilles tendonitis and things like that if your body isn't prepared for it. So going from 0 to frequently, you can overdo and get kind of like painful joints and stuff like that, like your big toe or maybe your Achilles tendon. If you're not mobilized properly, you don't build up to it. So depends. If you're doing it more frequently, you don't have to necessarily do as much volume. Just do a little bit every day, which is a great way to build up. Or you do some heavier days and some lighter days. So I don't do like long, it's good cardiovascular, but at the same time, one continuous, like nonstop, you're just not gonna be able to push as much. I think it's better for doing like shorter intervals, do like a burst, you do like all the way back, all the way there and back, maybe 50, 25 to 100 meters, whatever the rep is, and then rest for a little bit. That way you can find a nice balance between weight and volume, and then you can get your frequency up. Bottom line for me personally, I don't like doing that kind of stuff less frequently. I like doing it more often, but just understand that if you just go to do it every day, you usually want to do less than you think you need to do, because you might be able to feel like you can handle it for a couple days, and all of a sudden your ankle will hurt or your foot will hurt out of nowhere. It's not really out of nowhere, but don't underestimate the overload. But your body can recover very quickly from sled work just because you're not pulling against gravity. There's no eccentric part of the contraction. I would check that out, Dorella. She's asking about ibuprofen and gut impact. I would check it out. Look it up, because you can create stomach ulcers, and also you can get like this kind of like webbing. I've read about like kind of this like webbing matrix that can create in your small intestines, but Google that. Look up ibuprofen, its effect on the gut. You'll see pictures and a lot more breakdowns and more depth on that. It's very easy. Of course, chronic use. If you take ibuprofen like once in a while, once in a while. Is it going to destroy everything? It's going to cause major impact in your gut biome, but it's not going to cause an ulcer right away. But people chronically take it, especially in the military. There you go, Stephen. Healthcare in the military was wild. Oh, you have pain? Here's a bottle of 800 milligram ibuprofen. Yeah, a friend of mine was in the Marines, or I forget what I think it was Marines. He was just saying they just passed it out like Tic Tacs. Ibuprofen, by the way, ibuprofen used to be prescription. Like ibuprofen period used to be prescription, but now you can buy it over the counter. If you go to the or the doctor, a lot of times they'll prescribe you 800. All it is just 4 ibuprofen. It's one pill of 800 rather than taking 4 of them. So it's pretty fucked up how they just pump it out there. Shelly, Papa Swolio, I have rheumatoid arthritis and I am a smoker. Yes, I know I have to quit. Just joined a gym to take back my life. Where should I start as far as working out to keep my mobility going? Are you practicing yoga? That would be fantastic. So for mobility, yoga is great for strengthening muscles. It's great for alignment. It's great for cardiovascular capacity. It's great for body conditioning and awareness and proprioception, balance, and things like that, which is fantastic. So I would make sure whatever you're doing with a basic fundamental training program that you're adding into that mix, like maybe alternate resistance training days with yoga days, which would be great for you. If you're interested in joining the SwoleFam, the 90-day dash is a great entry-level program. It's for all levels, but you can advance as much as you want, but it integrates mobility with strength training. All the programs in Swolenormous X, we do that because it's just such a foundation. And that's why it's pillar number 5, mobility. So mobility, that pillar incorporates yoga. So yoga is not necessarily mobility, and mobility isn't necessarily yoga, but mobility is a blanket term for moving your body the way it was intended and creating strength through a complete range of motion. And yoga is a way to improve mobility. It's great for recovery from resistance training, and it should be a part of anyone's protocol. It's going to depend on your goals and your experience too. Mountain Mama. Do you know Mountain Maxwell? We got a lot of mountain people here. As an ICU RN at a level 1 trauma center, we get older folks usually who were always told to take ibuprofen for pain their entire lives, and they have gastrointestinal bleeds like no other. Jesus Christ. Damn right. Ouch. Let's see, Matthew, we used to go through pain medicine and antacids like hell at my house, but since we got our lifestyle and nutrition in order, we hardly have any need for it. That's great, dude. I've told this story many times. Remember I was telling you about my days on Prilosec? This is back when I didn't understand the importance of grass-fed beef, and I was eating a lot of lower quality, inexpensive chicken and steak, like most people do. And it has nothing to do with the price of it per se. It's, grain-fed beef is cheaper because grain is subsidized by the government. So is corn and soy and blah, blah, blah. So you can sell it for cheaper because it's cheaper to make, because essentially farmers get paid to use these products and whatever. So grass-fed beef is better, bar none. I have not had any kind of acid reflux since I started coming back eating beef. This is years and years ago. I literally went vegan/vegetarian for a while because my acid reflux was so bad. And I realized it was not because of the meat, it was because of the quality of the meat. So food quality is paramount, and that's why I always talk about it. I have personal experience. I understand what it's like to be, uncomfortable with heartburn, with acid reflux, and it was bad. Super bad. Awful, awful, awful. All right, let's take some more questions. Good shit, good shit. Let's see, the original Thick Thor, the original Thick Thor, thick with two C's. Very nice. Are anime characters good to use as a goal for your physique or fitness goals in general? As a goal or as a fantasy? Because anime characters are not real. Most of these anime characters have 50 or 60 inch chests and then a 20-inch waist. That's like reading Marvel comics and be like, I'm going to have this physique someday. Is it good to use as a goal? I think it's a fun thing to maybe if you want to go as Goku for Halloween, but it's definitely not realistic, which is why they're not real people, which is why they're cartoons. I mean, when you say to use as a goal, that can definitely inspire someone. A lot of people are like, always wanted to look like, Goku. So then you train hard and you can actually build an amazing physique. Like, are you going to look like the anime character? I don't think so. Very, very slim chance unless you're juicing out of your mind. But it can still be something you aspire to in terms like you train for some kind of, amazing heroic proportions, but it's not realistic. Yeah. All right. CDN, I guess it's Canadian, CDN. Keto Dad, Papa Swolio. Been growing my beard out since December. Nice job, bro. Nice job.
I like to caress rusty spoon.
Papa, been growing my beard out since December. How do you keep the ladies off of yours? That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't have to worry about that. I only have to worry about keeping one lady off my beard, and I don't. Let's just say I don't. Just saying.
I don't know how to put
Just saying.
this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
She thinks I'm kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. All right, let's see. Charlie07, Papa Swolio. I bulk at 4,500 calories. Yeah, I think anyone bulks. Pretty much anyone on Earth bulks at 4,500 calories. Maybe aside from like, I don't know, like one of those like world's strongest men. Maybe they don't bulk at 4,500. I bulk at 4,500 calories despite being 14 and cut at 3,500 calories. Any way to make eating easier? No. Nope. That's why most people don't get results, is because nutrition is very important and it's hard for people to force food in. I don't think you cut at 3,500 unless, I don't know what you're like, Charlie, like where you're at, but I don't think you're cutting at 3,500 calories unless you're like 6'4", 6'5", honestly. But I don't know anything about you. So sounds like those numbers are a little suspect, but it's about right. You can go 100 if you go 1,000, maybe you maintain at 4,000, but I don't know. It depends. If that's accurate, then, any way to make eating easier, that's kind of like saying like, hey, can I get results faster? How can I find a shortcut? I mean, there's really no answer unless you give me specifics. So forcing in extra calories is not pleasant. It's not romantic. That's why most people that do it eat smaller meals more frequently, because then you can get in more calories overall. It's hard to eat 4,000 calories in one meal. It's extremely challenging, if not impossible, and extremely unrealistic. You would eat it at one sitting, but it would take you a couple hours maybe, and then you would just feel like a fat blob. So it's better to eat small meals throughout the day so you can still be functional. No one wants to eat 2,000 calories and go work out, right? So it's better to get in that volume over, throughout the day. So people often eat every couple hours, smaller quantities. And then of course, if you have 5 meals at 600 calories, that's 3,000 calories. But, there's really no need for most people to bulk at 4,500 calories. Most people will be just fine bulking at like 3,000 or 3,300. You might be way overdoing it. And if you're cutting at 35, I don't see that being realistic. However, you might be a massive, massive person at 14. Just seeing those numbers don't really sound that accurate, honestly. Let's see. Cosentino Fitness, thoughts on the Canadian trucker convoy. Okay, so I don't know all the details about this, but what's the plan? There were like all these truckers were going from, I saw the people, I see the videos on TikTok. It's phenomenal. All the people standing outside supporting, freedom. I think it's great, but is like the plan that they're just going to stay and kind of block off the city until Trudeau removes the mandates? Like, are they going from city to city or province to province? I don't know those details. Like that's still going on, I'm sure. Are they just blocking off the city and kind of staying there and he's hiding out somewhere, right? He left because, he's so afraid. Fucking should be afraid. The government should be afraid of the people. That's the problem. That's why we have guns in our country. So the government fucking fears the people. So anyway, I don't know all the details, like how that's going to end, but from everything that I know about it, sounds fucking awesome. And I've been commenting and dropping Canadian American flags on all the posts I see on TikTok. I heard that they were trucking in a lot of food and stuff, so people can they can stay in their trucks and stay there and, eat and last a long time. Like some of those trucks were just filled with food, so people can seriously, pun intended, plant their flags and park that shit until they remove it. 45 miles long, and they intend to close down the city. Yeah, okay, so those were the details I wasn't sure of, like what the actual plan is, so I don't know all the breakdown. But as far as I'm aware, that they are planning to stay there until the mandates are removed, which I think is fantastic. I think it's fantastic. You know what's really embarrassing is that you don't find any of that anywhere. If you go to like CNN or MSNBC or any of these places, not that I've seen, if you go to like the liberal left media, you don't see any of those. You don't hear any peep about it. You have to look on like foreign newspapers or go on TikTok, and then you see it everywhere. And there's a lot of videos showing reporters covering it, and they're actually showing, they'll stand in front of like a small group of protesters, and they're angling it that way to make it seem like it's not that big, because the other angle, if they stood on the other side of the road, it would show like thousands and thousands of people. So there's a lot of framing error on purpose that these media agencies are trying to downplay it, but there's so many fucking people out there. From what I saw, from what I've seen in videos, there's a lot of fucking people. Yeah, grilling burgers, that's awesome. Fucking Canada, baby. I don't have a Canadian soundboard, but we'll give you some America too. There you go. There you go. Fucking freedom, baby. All right, Jake or Jacobeira, Jacoby Ibra. Whatever. Jaco Bebra. Jacoby Ibra. Jacoby Wybra. Jacoby bruh. Papa Swolio, I go to the gym regularly, but I'm struggling with calories. How can I be more disciplined? By doing it. By doing it.
You're not making this easy on me, boy.
By doing it. Struggling with calories. How can I be more disciplined? Do you want to eat more food? Then set the plan. Make the food ahead of time. Make it so you have it ready and fucking eat it, whether you like it or not. Do it. Do it. See, we get a lot of these questions, right? Papa Swolio, how can I be more disciplined? By creating more of a habit, by doing it. You will get more disciplined when you do it. Okay, essentially, an easy way to think about discipline is doing it whether you feel like it or not. That's really what discipline is, right? It's something that you need to do. You know you need to do it. So you're going to the gym. You know you need to eat more food. So you eat more food. But that's vague. How much food are you trying to eat? And then, okay, make it and then eat it. And then do it again tomorrow. And do it again the next day. And do it again the next day. I'm full. I don't feel like eating it. Who cares? You need the calorie surplus. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. That's all it is. That's all it is. Training. Because it's time to train. Then you fucking do it. That's discipline. You do it whether you feel like doing it or not. Doesn't matter when you feel like doing it. Doesn't matter whether or not you feel like doing it. Either you did it or you did not. Did you do it or did you not do it? All right. Geletta Bassa. Papa Swolio, I'm going to the gym I've been going to the gym for almost 2 months now, and I just want to know what workout is best for losing fat. Goddamn question. There is no best workout for losing fat. Check out our content, the elimination diet. If you want to join the SwoleFam, check us out, swolenormousx.com, but also make sure that you are building muscle. Go to the gym regularly, lift weights, build muscle. It will increase your resting metabolic rate. You'll find it much more easy to metabolize fat, but you have to cut out inflammatory foods, blah, blah. Pretty much everything we talk about on the podcast every day. So that's a really vague question. Everyone knows I hate those fucking lazy questions, but there is no best workout. You're not going to lose fat with a workout. That's really all the other lifestyle habits, your caloric value, right? Your caloric quantity, but most importantly, the quality of your calories and your sleep. That's going to dramatically improve your body's ability to metabolize fat. So vague. So vague. Scar Sizzle. All right. What would you do for tennis elbow? Go to my Amazon store. Links.pop. Is that over there? I don't know if it's on the links. I don't know if the link's on the link sheet. swolenormousx.com/links. Check out the TheraBar. That's fantastic. I don't know if you have medial or lateral epicondylitis, but a TheraBar is how I have fixed and avoided any issues with tennis elbow, because I used to get those problems too. And you get that, baseball or certain sports, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow. That's why it's called golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, because repetitive movement patterns will cause that over time and cause inflammation. If you do the same thing over and over again, and of course, golf and tennis, you're doing the same shit, twist, 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 hit. And if you have like an imbalance, you're going to have problems. So check it out, Therabar. So swolemsx.com/links, and there might be a link there for the Amazon store. There should be. I'm not sure if that got moved. All right, we'll take a couple more questions. Yeah, Elijah, doing things that are uncomfortable helps to build discipline. That's why I do the cold plunge twice a day. I do it twice a day, and it was fucking cold this morning for Florida. It was like 37 degrees outside. I know for some of you are like, well, it's 10 degrees here. Well, that's for Florida. It's fucking cold. So yesterday and today are the two coldest days of the year so far, and then it gets warm this week. So we'll be back up to the mid 70s, high 70s again. So we'll be safe. We'll be safe down here. We'll make it. We'll make it. It's all right. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us. We'll be all right. But it's uncomfortable. It feels great. I mean, I like doing it, but it's not like, hey, it's cold outside. Let's fucking go in the cold water. But I know I'll feel good, and I know it's good for me, so I do it. It doesn't really matter if I feel like doing it, because it's not always something that, once I'm in there, it's like, oh, it feels good. And then, it's still cold, though. It's still cold. It's still cold, but that's what really does build discipline. It's great. It's a great way to start your morning, start your day with discipline, and end the day with discipline. So cold in the morning, cold in the evening, and then everything else gets a lot of other things are a lot easier. If you're freezing your fucking nips off twice a day, it makes other things a lot easier too. Think about it. You do some hard shit. And then it makes other things that were hard in other aspects maybe a little bit easier in comparison. Oh, it's not that cold here. I had to break the ice off my cold plunge this morning. God damn it. Yeah, well, doesn't get that cold here. Doesn't get that cold. Ruger, is it good to cold plunge before a workout? I wouldn't do it right before a workout. I mean, if you did the cold plunge in the morning and then as you warmed up over time, then you started doing some warm up, maybe an hour after or whatever it is. But cold plunge, I don't do cold plunge right after a workout either. I like to do it after a sauna. And if I train, I like to do the cold plunge later on. So if I cold plunge after a workout, it's usually a few hours after. I like to wait a little bit. I don't like to train and have a nice pump. And, I don't think reducing the inflammation with ice right after a workout is optimal for muscle building. I like to kind of let my body handle it for a little bit and then ice it later. So in other words, I don't right after a workout do it, but I do it in the morning and the evening. So it's nice. And it lowers, sometimes I'll do something and like, oh shoot. Cause I train frequently and sometimes I'll do something. I do, mace bells and Indian clubs. And sometimes you move a little bit wrong and your elbow or something like, kind of tweak something or, you get fatigued or you feel a little ache. Ice bath can really shave off the edges or, mitigate that kind of issues from just using the body off it and moving all the time. It's great to kind of decrease the general inflammation with icing. So it keeps me kind of like in a constant state of recovery. Yeah, I wouldn't do it right before though, because of course you want to warm up. So freezing the fuck out of your body isn't really the best idea. Ethan, Papa Swolio, do you wear barefoot shoes? If so, do you have a preference? When I wear shoes, I do. But I don't wear any shoes at home or outside when I train. I don't wear any shoes. But good ones are Vivo Barefoot and Zero shoes. Zero, Xero. Those are two good options you can check out if you're interested. I also wear Vibram. Vibram are the 5-finger ones. But some people are like, oh, these look weird. I like the classics. I like the ones that look like ballerina slippers because I barely feel them. So those are the most barefoot shoes I've ever worn. I like those the best. But Vivo Barefoot and Zeros, I have a pair of each. But since I've just been completely barefoot for a year or two, my feet and my muscles and my feet and stuff have actually grown. My toes have spread out more and more and more. The more I do more, I've done more barefoot stuff. So my shoe size actually increased a little bit. So some of the shoes that I bought that are nice, I actually don't really fit too comfortably in. I can't tell if I don't fit in them or anything on my feet just feels uncomfortable. So even the barefoot shoes, either they feel small or they just feel weird, but I can't tell if it's because they're too small or it's just because I'm wearing shoes and it feels fucking weird. So I might have to get a half size bigger in both of them. So those are some good options. Tyler, are calisthenics optimal for bodybuilding? No, otherwise bodybuilders would only do calisthenics. Optimal is different than are they effective. Papa Swole, what model of Zero do you like? I don't even know what they're called. I think they were like sprint shoes. I don't wear shoes, so I honestly don't like any of them. I don't like any of the shoes, really. They just feel weird to me. I like, and in terms of what is more barefoot, Vivo barefoot will be much more minimal. Zero shoes seem a little bit, they're very light. They're good. They're very good. But I personally feel more barefoot when I was wearing the Vivo barefoot ones. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me to tell because I just don't like wearing shoes, period. So I can't tell if it's the shoe or it's just the fact that I have something on my foot that feels uncomfortable sometimes. Let's see. Insane Lovely. Papa Swolio, I've never done cold showers. Is there a beginner's time limit on cold showers or just when it's too much? What do you mean? A time limit? You can start by just turning it cold at the end. What you really want to do is just build up the consistency for it. So if you take a shower, just like turn it cold, maybe set a timer for your shower, like how long you take showers for. Maybe 5 minutes, you take a shower for 5 minutes, you get in there, and then at the last 30 seconds, you turn it cold. And then you gradually move it to 45 seconds or a minute. And then eventually you're taking cold showers. Like it'll feel at first, you'll be like, oh my God, it's cold. But then after a while, you just, it feels so refreshing. It feels so nice. I mean, if you're washing your hair and stuff, it's hard for soap to foam and, mix through and wash through if it's like freezing. So maybe you wash your hair separately or you just do it at the beginning of the shower and then turn it cold after. There's different ways to do it. I passed out in the shower once. Don't recommend it. From what? How'd you pass out in the shower? From a cold shower, you passed out, or you just passed out, period? I wouldn't recommend passing out in the shower. Just turn it cold at the end and you can build up to it. Oh, drunk. Well, of course. Okay. All right. There you go. Partying with Leo again, huh? Partying with Leo. John Natty. John Addy. Is it Joe or Joe Natty or John Addy? 69. How do you feel about the keto diet? I think it's a decent option. I don't think it's good long-term per se. I've done keto before. I didn't like it for me. If you're doing strength training, it's not ideal in my opinion. It's not ideal. You need some carbs, but you don't need tons of vegetables. You don't need tons of carbohydrates and tons of rice and potatoes. You can have more fruit and just keep it more minimal. I would do it that way if you're trying to build muscle and just not be, a carboholic and you get off that insulin roller coaster. You just don't need to eat as many carbs, keep it low and then adjust as necessary. But sometimes I feel more like I need some carbs, so then I'll have a sweet potato for one of my meals. But then generally I just have fruit and meat and fat. Just for strength training, I didn't like having zero carbs. I felt really weak after a while. It just didn't feel good. That's my personal experience with it. Because I definitely did it for a while. I got really into, mostly just fat and protein, but I do like some carbs, just not a ton. Yeah. Especially if you're lifting a lot. If you're lifting heavy, it's hard. Hard. Feeman 03. Papa Swole, advice for skinny beginners with low budget. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? Low budget for what? Just in general, skinny beginners. Well, you got to eat more food. You got to eat food. I don't know how, it's hard to answer that question. I don't know what that budget is. The big difference between 50 and 150. So you need to get in those calories. I mean, there's definitely inexpensive calories. Sweet potatoes and white rice are very inexpensive. Get in some beef. I mean, the protein's going to be the most costly. Eggs, steak, chicken. Those things are going to be generally what is challenging. Sardines are a good option. Eggs are a good option. So it depends on what you have access to. I think it really comes down to individually and where you live and what you have access to is how much it's going to cost you. But if you say skinny beginner, I don't know what you mean. You mean like in terms of a gym membership, or do you mean in terms of nutrition? Just so you know, you don't need a lot of money to, lift weights. You just might have to do more body weight exercises or find some stuff on OfferUp or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, get some used weights, or go to a park and train and then do a lot of body weight stuff and do a lot of volume and reps and slower and negatives and things like that and build up over time. But food costs money. I mean, aside from, get a job, make some more money, get a side hustle or 2 jobs and whatever and make more money, or, you still got to maximize it. But the proteins are what's going to cost you more. So in terms of advice, I mean, focus on the things that are going to get you the most results. And that's going to be eating properly and training consistently and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Whenever someone asks a general question like that, it sucks when there's no context because everyone's approach needs to be a little bit different depending on what you have access to. But in terms of, see what you're talking, Josh, I can get local eggs at Sam's Club for about $1.40 a dozen. $1.40? But that's the thing when it comes to if you don't have a lot of money, because Sam's Club requires a membership, right? Like Costco. So it depends on what you have access to. VA Schindler, Papa Swolio, what's your typical meal plan? Like, what do I eat? Like, what do I eat? I don't have a meal plan. I mean, what do I eat? I eat steak, I eat eggs, I have white rice, I have sweet potatoes, I have fruit, I have some raw honey. That's pretty much it. Beef, grass-fed ground beef, ribeyes, whatever kind of beef, ground beef, whatever it is, liver, organs, bacon, try to get pastured heritage bacon, there's lots of great places you can get, grass-fed beef and bacon and quality food sources online. Lots of places to order online, sometimes Whole Foods or local butchers or farmers markets and things like that. Again, depends on where you live, but really just meat and fruit for the most part. Love raw honey, not tons of carbs, and get my vitamins and minerals from my organ meats. Andrew Boldurian lifts. Papa Swolio, best tips on how to shred fast. You don't. We don't do that here. I don't fucking shred fast. You mean lose all your gains or have a short-term vision? We only think long-term in the fam. If you're trying to lose weight or lose extra body fat, eat plenty of protein, eat plenty of good healthy fats, and drop those garbage carbohydrates. Without knowing what you do, Andrew, I can't really give you much advice without knowing what you're doing currently. But if you're worrying about shredding fast, in my opinion, you don't have the right mindset, in terms of approaching your health like that. Shredding fast. Yeah, shred. Come on. Do you want to shred for, get dry for a couple days and then, fall out of it, do some hardcore restriction bullshit, or you want to build proper habits and be leaner and feel better and perform better overall for the rest of your life? Good question though, but not really a good question. Come on now. All right. Any other questions? We got them. We got some answers. Hashtag red, white, and swole for a chance to win today's swole card. Swole card. Do you eat uncured bacon? Yeah, I believe it's uncured, it's salted. It's just heritage breed pork. Yeah, for sure. And when you cook your bacon, don't burn it. If you like crispy bacon, you are destroying your bacon. I know, but I like it crunchy. No. Nice, soft, low heat, low cook. It is delicious. It will melt in your mouth. Once you enjoy the flavor, you never go back. Don't eat burnt, singed, just just like soot. Can I just eat some burnt wood? Yeah. Cook it on low. We cook it on 1 or 2. Oh, it's so good. Nice and gentle, soft. If you're burning it, it's very carcinogenic. You don't want to burn anything. Don't burn it. Don't do it, beaches. Don't do it. Yeah, Matthew, I hate bacon. How do you boo. Fuck out of here. Get out of here, Matt. I hate bacon. How do you hate bacon? That's a silly thing to say. I venture that you've never had good bacon. Come on now. If you hate bacon, I don't think you've ever had good bacon. I don't know, man. I don't know. How can you trust someone that says they hate bacon? Can you? Can you trust someone that doesn't like bacon? Uh-oh. I might be overcooking it. I don't know what's going on, Matt. If you hate bacon, those are strong words. That's pretty blasphemous, to be honest. I love bacon as long as it's not mixed with beef. Huh? You're mixing your bacon with beef? When do you come across that concern? What do you mean mix it with beef? Like put it on a beef burger? You don't like bacon on a burger? Or like bacon and ground beef? What's going on here? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
We choose truth over facts.
What the fuck is going on? I'm going to end this show. I think we're done. I think we're done. I think we're there. I think we're there. Yeah. I'm not a fan of where this conversation is heading. All this anti-bacon rhetoric. It's unacceptable. Like a bacon cheeseburger or in a casserole. Casseroles are disgusting. Casserole is literally like, let me make a dish with all the leftovers I have. I've never seen or been around anything resembling or referred to as a casserole that I wanted to actually consume. I'm not a fan of lasagna or anything that kind of, I don't like that sloppy mush. Gross. Never liked it. Bacon cheeseburger. I mean, that's beef and bacon. Delicious. Never had a problem for that. It's just going to make the beef taste better. And the bacon tastes better. It's kind of like this vicious cycle of awesomeness. And bacon hating is a hate crime. Bacon facts. Ethan, I love bacon in my ground beef with an avocado mixed in. That's some good shit. That's some good shit. Well, Joe, I had an Arab girlfriend who didn't eat bacon. I couldn't trust her. Bacon tastes like happy. Yeah. Yeah, bacon's delicious. Actually, might have some with some eggs. I might be in the mood for like some bacon and eggs tonight. Yeah, I might be in the mood for that. Might be one of those days. I don't know. All I know is it needs to get warmer around here really fucking quick. Really fucking quick. I think, let me see, the temperature right now in Florida. So last night, I think it was like 36 degrees. 37 last night in Florida. Brutal. But right now it's like 59. 59 degrees. It's going to be like 43 tonight. Oh my God, my nips. My poor nips. But then tomorrow, yeah, it goes back to like the mid 70s. There you go, Florida. There you go. Florida being Florida again. So anyway, wherever you are, make sure you are banana peel bacon. No. I can't wait for that. I was actually outside in the sun all day today. So it was in the mid 60s or low 60s, but it was sunny. So if you're in the sun without the wind, it was great. It was hot, but then, it's dropping quickly. It reminds me of living up north. Trust me, I know it's like to be cold. That's why I moved down here, because I didn't want to be cold anymore. But a reminder, fam, tomorrow, let's bring this up again. Tomorrow we have our accountability meeting at 12 noon. So if you are not a member, you could join today. We'll have a live call with myself and other members of the SwoleFam. So make sure you are tuning in for that. And we'll see you then tomorrow at 12 noon. You can log right in and join in on the call. We'll go over some new releases. It'll be fun tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Now, let us give away today's Swole. Fuck yeah! All right. Falcon, what do we got? Falcon, can you pick someone who deserves some red, white, and Swole? Who's got some America going on? Who needs some America going on? I recommend it. I recommend moving to Florida. All right. We got a winner. Joe Sigmund. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations! What up, Jay? All right, Home Slice. Congratulations. I like my barefoot shoes. They're great. Red, white, and Swole. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2095 in the subject and your mailing address in the body of the email. And make sure you take a picture when you get it in and where you're going to put it, because that is a beautiful card. That's very nice, Falcon. Very, very nice. Yeah, Matt, fucking rigged because I said I don't like bacon. Matt, I don't think the Falcon is ever going to give you a card again because you said that. Yeah, I know. I told him, Matt, I don't know what we're going to do. Freddie's really pissed. So just maybe kind of tone it down on the bacon rhetoric, and then maybe Freddie will calm his fucking nips after a while. Okay. So just stay tuned for that one. All right. I told him. I fucking told him. Is that enough? Are we good?
How dare you?
All right. How dare you, Matt? I know, Greta. I know. How dare you? All right. Falcon, Freddie, Joe, congratulations. Fam, if you are ready to join the fam today, SwoleNormousX.com. Let's nut this beesh and have a great rest of your day. Falcon, kick us off. Very nice Q&A. Good Qs and good A's. You can ask more tomorrow. If you didn't get your question answered today and you're part of the SwoleFam tomorrow, we will take some more questions during our live call. If you got any more questions on programming or nutrition, elimination diet, anything of the sort, silence.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. I got hairy legs.
He's heating up!
Mr. Strickland.
Don't forget to watch where the sun don't shine.
You're insane, gold member.
Lieutenant Dan.
Chlorophyll? More like borophyll.
How about I send you a hobo's dick cheese?
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
Fair guy, but he is making
You're
me
welcome,
absolutely
Marissa.
crazy.
Very welcome. Make sure you Google it, look it up. Just don't take my word for it. It's not good for your stomach.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Make sure the make sure you have the record player on at night.
Matt Damon.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
Fucking people.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up.
Quick release. How am I playing it? How am I playing it? How am I playing it? How am I playing it without any fucking hands? You know why? It's with my dick. It's with my dick. It's a piano cock. You like it? You like it? Oh my God. It's too cold. You don't need to tuck it today. You don't need to tiny tuck. You don't need to total tuck. You don't need to typical tuck it. It's too cold. It just, like a fucking tortoise, just goes in on its own. Oh my God. That's not a tuck. That's a retract. Got it. Got him, Ruger. Very nice. All right, fam. Great episode today. Great questions. Thank you so much for being here. We'll round of applause. SwoleNormousX.com to join the fam today. Go check us out because we are live tomorrow at 12 noon for the call. I will send you out a Swole text. I'll hit you up. I'll alert you on Discord. I'll alert you on Telegram. And then all you got to do is log into your account and hit that button right there on your homepage inside your account. And then you will have access and be transported into an amazing world of the SwoleFam accountability meeting. So tomorrow's episode 2096 will be private for members. Join the fam today. SwoleNormousX.com. Links down below. And I will see you there. My beaches. Peace, McGee's. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element.